train. You have a guaranteed seat, but you can't. And everybody does the same thing. Every time it pulls into the station, person is taking 2 seats, and they put their newspaper or something in one seat, and then they pretend they're asleep when it pulls into the station. And so it's all crowded. Well, we got onto the train, and there were 4 seats, and my wife and some friends went with me. And so there were 4 seats at this table, and it was empty. So we get in, and we sit down at the table, and the lady says, no, you can't take those. Why not? They're reserved. They're reserved. You can't reserve. No, these are reserved. And I said, okay. Now, the guy I was with rides the train a lot, and he's like, excuse me, you can't reserve a seat. No, you'll understand. Some people will be joining, and you'll understand. They can reserve a seat. Oh. Okay. Now, I'm thinking Joe Amtrak Biden is getting onto the train because you cannot reserve a seat on Amtrak. They don't do it. We pull into New York. All of a sudden, there are cops everywhere. And I'm thinking, now I'm sitting in the seat behind what I think Joe Biden's going to be sitting in. And I just can't wait. I'm text messaging Stu. I mean, it's like, how many people did we have on this? On the running text messages.
Like 10 or 12. It was a good collection.
Oh, it was a good collection. We were just, all of us, and everybody was text messaging back and forth all day and all night long. And so I'm like, Joe Biden. And a couple of people were like, you can't reserve a seat on Amtrak. I know, it's got to be Joe Biden. Well, all of a sudden the police enter. Clear the path. It's Barbara Walters and Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, and Steve Kroft. And I'm thinking to myself, you got to be kidding me.
Steve Kroft is 60 Minutes?
60 Minutes.
Right.
You got to be kidding me. How did they reserve seats on Amtrak when you can't reserve seats on Amtrak?
Yeah, and as much as like you want to make fun, I love making fun of Joe Biden. I'll let Joe Biden.
He's the vice president.
Yes, he can reserve a seat.
I was actually surprised when I thought it was Joe Biden. I thought, how does this guy? I mean, really? They're just going to higgledy-piggledy throw the vice president onto a train? That's probably not the best idea. You know, and there was no second thought the vice president should have reserved seats. But I was looking around a lot because I thought there should also be Secret Service, prior to New York. It wasn't. It was Whoopi, Steve Kroft, and Barbara Walters. Now, as the train took off, and Barbara said, "Glenn back," and I said, "Yes, Mrs. Walters, how are you?" "You're going to be on our show in a couple of weeks, I understand." I said, "Oh." Yeah. And Whoopi looks up over her glasses. "Oh, yes, Glenn Beck. Yes."
Warm reception.
Yes, very warm reception. I don't even know. When am I doing The View?
I did hear about that. It is coming up, I believe, but I'm not sure.
Why is my question.
No, but
why?
Nothing wrong with The View.
Why?
No, there's nothing wrong with The View. We like The View.
No, you like the walkout. And I contend that it's not the walkout for all of them. In fact, I contend that it's only the walkout for one of them.
Look, my relationship with Joy Behar is well documented.
Would it be rude for me to say, Ms. Behar, there's not a lot of your first name in you. Have you noticed that?
See, I don't know why you would do this in advance of a View taping. I think you should do this after.
All right.
But we love Elizabeth Hasselbeck. She's fantastic in every way.
Am I on the Elizabeth Hasselbeck?
She is on The View.
Yes,
and
she is.
And, I think it's a very widely watched program. It's something that you're supposed to do as part of your job. So as
we were pulling out of the station, I'm thinking to myself, this is why these people in the media, this is why these politicians, this is why they don't have a problem with what's wrong with Amtrak. What's wrong with public transportation? Because they were escorted, most likely, from a limousine up in Penn Station, which is a nightmare. You go to Penn Station, you got to fight the crowd, go down the escalator, then you stand in a long line, you buy your ticket, you sit there and you wait, then you got to go into this waiting area where you don't want to touch or sit in anything. You wait for a guy who's blowing snot bubbles through his nose. They finally let you stand in a big, huge, crowded area where they say, everybody to the gate, no! And then you run down the stairs trying to snag a single seat, and you can't because the guy's got a newspaper there and he's pretending he's asleep. And so you end up sitting right next to the bathroom, which smells like vomit, for 3 hours. This is why the liberals in the media, they all love this kind of stuff, because they don't actually experience it. Oh, of course I ride Amtrak. No, you don't. Not like the common schlub does. You have the police wait for you when your limousine stops. The police escort you down right to the platform at the very last minute, right where you've got a reserved seat and table. And they walk you in. Are you all right? Is everything okay? Yes, we'll be fine now, thank you. And then they leave, and the train takes off, and you're like, isn't this a wonderful way to travel? Yes, for you.